Hey there folks, it's me TheTacticalBrit, and yes, I am finally back. I've completed all of my exams, I took the weekend off to recuperate a bit, and today we're back with some more Battlefield content, and you're going to see plenty of it over the coming weeks and, well, months even, because I do have a lot of spare time. Now, today I'm going to be talking about two things. Number one, the new Mercury map, which has been revealed today in a trailer. It will be releasing this week on Thursday. And number two, I also really want to talk about some serious performance issues the Battlefield has introduced with the most recent patch, and it's actually becoming borderline like problematic. I'm struggling to play in the game at the moment for some of these reasons, and I'm going to go into some detail about that too. So number one, we have the new Mercury map. Now this is something that's been anticipated for quite a while. A new map has just been it's been so necessary. It's like 6 months down the line and we're finally getting one. And, you know, a new scenery, just something different. And luckily it looks like Mercury is going to deliver on that front. Now, of course, we don't know how it plays, we don't know what it's like in that respect, and we don't really know anything about it in that sense. But beyond all of that, we do know that it's got a very fresh look and a very different dynamic. And alongside all of that, it does have a combined arms setup with planes, tanks, and boots on the ground. And just from the trailer alone that they released today, it does look like a fascinating map. It looks like there's plenty of places for infantry combat, as well as a good array of both vehicular and aerial combat on this map, which I'm sure is going to make a lot of people happy. It just looks good. I'm excited to play it, and hopefully on Thursday it will give us some really good content. And finally, just something to damn play. It's just been way too long and way too slow and way too painful, and I really do hope that this is the beginning of a turnaround of content that will actually give us something meaningful and more reasons to come back to Battlefield. Because don't get me wrong, I still enjoy messing around with the game here and there, but like, without new content, I don't have a lot of incentives to keep coming back, you know? It's not like the release date of a DLC where I'd come back and play the game for a good stretch of a few weeks or a couple of months when there was new content available. Now I just don't really have that luxury, and hopefully with this one map we might get something, and it might be the beginning of some more coming. So on the whole, this looks like it's going to be a really exciting update. It looks like it's going to deliver on a lot of fronts for a lot of people, and you know, I hope that the Mercury map is something that is ostensibly one of the best ones we've played, and I do hope that it goes incredibly well, because in my opinion, if this map doesn't go well, then there's just no point. Like, what's the point of playing this game anymore? For a lot of people, the original Panzerstorm map was a bit of a disappointment, so, you know, waiting this long for a map, if it doesn't really deliver, is going to be quite problematic for the game and come into question about where Battlefield 5 stands. Now, moving on from all of this, I have a huge problem with Battlefield right now. This is something that honestly I cannot, from a technological standpoint, pinpoint or tell you what is going wrong in Battlefield 5 at the moment. But for those of you who played the game, and for those of you who've played it quite a lot, especially somebody of myself who've played quite a lot of hours for content and just quite religiously, you notice when things are different. You notice when things go wrong or get messed up. And it's been very, very clear in the most recent patch there are some serious performance issues in Battlefield 5, potentially either on the graphical side of things, but also on the network side of things, because I am getting micro stutters all over the place on PlayStation 4. I also fired up my PC, and bearing in mind this is a good PC, we're talking about an i7 and an RTX 2070, and again, on there, micro-stuttering everywhere. There's lags, there's drops, there's, you know, just these insane levels of performance problems that are just simply unacceptable. One of the games I played on Panzerstorm, I would argue, was borderline unplayable, because every, like, 2 minutes or a minute or so, there would just be these insane lags and stutters that would just completely ruin the gameplay experience. And it appears to me as well that this has actually brought back a crap ton of network issues, and a lot of graphical issues as well. There were instances I noticed where I'd be driving over a piece of terrain and things would just pop in, you know, like a meter or two ahead of me pop in on graphics, which just isn't normal. That's not something that's ever happened in Battlefield 5 prior to this update. And it's not something I've ever experienced before, but for some reason on both the PS4 Pro and on my PC, in certain instances I'd get graphical pop-in, I'd get things that weren't rendering correctly, and then even more concerningly, the network issues. Now, I didn't have any problems prior to this update. I know some people did, and that was an issue as well with the UK servers, and you know, I did make a video about that, and I've got to admit, in some cases I was quite wrong. I listened to a lot of you guys' feedback, and truth be told, it does appear that there were some issues. I personally didn't experience any of them, but weirdly, ever since this update, I'm experiencing tons of them. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it's something to do with graphics that it's affecting performance, and then performance in turn is affecting, you know, what I'm seeing network-wise on the screen, or whether it's a network issue that's just completely mothering everything else. It's really difficult to pinpoint at the moment because the only thing that I'm receiving on screen at the moment is ping variance, and this is just a new indicator that's happened to appear after the update. I've never had this sort of logo or symbol appear from the overall network diagnostics up until this update, and it's strange. I honestly cannot pinpoint or point to what has gone wrong here. It seems to be a combination of either graphical or network issues, and this happens on any German server I join. You know, any European server at the moment is just a complete mess, and it's terrible. You know, I don't understand how this has happened. You know, I think I've played maybe 3 games out of 10 in the past week that haven't been marred with lots of stuttering, super bullets, and general issues, both network-wise and graphically speaking as well. And it's beyond me. There's also some new matchmaking issues that have also been introduced in this patch. For example, if you hit the quick match on Conquest, you don't sometimes go into the game. It'll put you in a squad, and then you'll just sit there. You'll sit there in the squad, unable to matchmake until you disband and leave the squad and try to rematchmake again. And even sometimes it will do the same thing repeatedly. I had one instance where on 3 or 4 occasions, just hitting Conquest just wouldn't get me into a game. And it's stuff like that that makes people go, do you know what, I'm just going to close the app and play something else. You know, if you can't get into games quickly, which is a serious issue for any multiplayer game that's trying to maintain a good level of audience retention, then you're going to get people backing out and just not enjoying the experience that they're getting from the game. So I really can't explain what's going on. I really wouldn't be able to tell you because there's just so many potential things that have changed. Mostly speaking that I've seen some weird graphical bugs, but also down to the fact that I've also just seen some weird network stuttering. Nothing on my end has changed, nothing on a lot of people's ends have changed, but I did a Reddit post and I asked about this and I got lots of responses from people on the Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro, and even just base systems as well, replying saying that they were experiencing very similar issues, very similar stutters, and that most of it had only occurred after the most recent update. Now, I think this is really disappointing, and you know, we're talking about a game that's like 6 or 7 months down the line now. Like, we're not talking about something that released last week. You know, I can understand that, but at this point it's like, how do you get something so wrong? You know, how does this get through QA? How does this get through, you know, the entire update procedure to be released as just this horrible array of bugs and issues and performance problems? Not to mention the fact that performance problems in terms of micro stuttering has been an issue on PC for a lot of people for a long time, but now almost seems to be extensively affecting lots of console players today. Now, if you're experiencing this, please let me know down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're getting any symbols. Let me know what it is you're seeing on screen. Again, you know, I am admittedly just rinsing the entirety of DICE at the moment by saying this is a terrible update, blah, blah, blah. But I do want this to have a constructive side to it. You know, if we can come to some kind of consensus as to what's changed and what's gone graphically or network-wise wrong, or anything that you can see or notice on the whole, then hopefully that could lead to some performance fixes and patches. But at the moment, I really wouldn't be able to tell you myself from a technical standpoint. I can just tell as a player who's played this game regularly that something feels very off, very wrong, lots of micro stuttering, lots of graphical problems, and it's just a bit crazy at the moment. And I really do hope this is something that gets fixed. So folks, thank you for tuning in today. I finally returned. You'll get a video tomorrow, you'll get a video the day after, you get daily videos, almost daily videos nearly every day. I'm going to do my best to try and just whap out as much content as humanly possible before I get my way over to LA for EA Play, and of course I'll have some videos releasing from EA Play. We haven't actually been told yet what we're going to be seeing at EA Play from Battlefield, so I'm really excited. There is a creator cave where I will be able to go inside, edit content, create videos, and record lots of stuff for you guys and get things on the roll. And that's quite exciting. So, you know, I don't know what's going to be announced. I don't think anybody does. And we're finally reaching the end of this chapter of Tides of War, so hopefully it's something quite impressive. As always, folks, thank you for watching, and I will catch you again on another video.